What's up, everybody? This is my Porygon 2 montage. In order for Porygon 2 to move from B- viability rank to B rank, so this is mainly for the UU counselor or whatever. I don't know who's ever running the viability ranks. I think it's Maru. Anyway, I figured it'd be better just talking about it instead of typing about it, and talking is a lot easier than typing. I can just show you the replays, and then I might post them separately. So, right here, we've got a finals battle against Susi. I already posted this on my channel as a road to win a tour, but Porygon 2 puts in some work later on in this battle, so I'll show you that in a second. Yeah, I'll probably post the replay separately as well, so you guys can scroll around and see when P2 puts in work, but everything's connected, so you gotta see what happens before P2 starts going off and see why it does a lot of work. So right here, I already narrated this, so I'm just gonna wait for the P2. But this thing was Scarf, so I had to work around it, and I was just playing pretty safe. I knew that I had Earthquake, and I knew I was gonna take the damage, but whatever. So we'll get to it in a second. Let's see if we can skip a few turns. Here we go. So he has his Banded Salamence out here, and it has Intimidate, which is not bad for Banded Salamence, since generally when you get a kill, something faster is going to come in and try to revenge kill you, so the Moxie doesn't do as well. So Intimidate is smart, but not in this case, because my Porygon 2 has Trace, and with Trace, I got the Intimidate off on the Salamence, and the Banded Outrage did about 33, which is great. And I have to go for Ice Beam because I want this thing to die, and if it gets 2 turn, then it can switch out and try to do damage later. I'm kind of weak right now. I can recover up, but first, yeah, I'm going to recover up first as he puts up his rocks. And now I'm going to Conversion because now his Stab, Aggron Stab, does not very effective damage to me, and my discharges are more powerful and I can start firing them off, and since his Titan does not have good special defense, they'll be doing a lot of damage. He does indeed go out to Florges, which is fine because I run Discharge, so I can get some Paras down, and I got some Paras. Discharge is very good, 30%, and I bring out my Emboar and try to threaten it out because nothing on his team really wants to take a Flare Blitz. I think that's the brute of it for this battle. I send in this thing again, and I get the Discharge off. I didn't go for Conversion because I didn't think he would go for Thunder Wave, knowing that I do have Conversion. And now I just sweep with Nidoking. So that's the first example. I got the win condition because the Florges got paralyzed from my Discharge that first game. Alright, so I laddered today. I did about 7 battles. I won every single one of them. I went from 1400s to 1520. So we're going to watch some of the good plays with Porygon 2. So out of the 7, I think 3 of them Porygon did well, but he didn't shine as much, so I didn't put him down. Right here, the Mienshao goes for High Jump Kick, and I'm thinking I can live another one. I don't have Protective Synthesis like Coco Loco's does. And I know mine Scarfed and his isn't, so I just went for the safe High Jump Kick, and that Crobat has some defense investment because it should have done around 20. Anyway, Suicune walls him, and I'm just going to go for the Scald because it hurts pretty much everything on his team except his own Suicune, and that's the only thing I'm pretty much fearing right now. He goes into his Mienshao very stupidly. This is a little low ladder, it's 1400s right now. There's some good battles to come though. And Doug Trio, shout out to Doug Trio. It was faster since the Mienshao wasn't Scarf, so I got to get the KO on it and take a Fake Out. Mienshao's awful defenses, by the way, so it could kill this thing if it was faster, but it's not. So I'm going to switch out right here into Suicune. You'll see some P2 in a second. I go for the Scald because it's safe, and he sends out his own P2, which isn't really a problem since I've got Doug Trio. I'm going to trap him in, and I have Toxic on this Doug Trio, and P2 doesn't have any recovery. It's one of its weakest attributes. Well, it has recovery. It doesn't have like Refresh or Heal Bell. His Umbreon does though, so I got to be aware of that and know that he wants to go out into that for the Heal Bell. He freezes me, but I thaw out first turn and get him with a High Jump Kick, and that's a dead P2 on his part. He runs Tri-Attack. I do not run Tri-Attack. the set I run is Discharge as the first slot, so Conversion works. Then I have Ice Beam, Conversion, and Recover. Conversion, what it does, it makes you the type of your first move, and since my first move is Discharge, it makes me an electric type, which means I'm only weak to one thing, which is ground, and ground isn't too popular right now. Most ground things are bulky and not offensive, so I pretty much wall the whole meta. I take 40% from banded Heracross when I get the conversion off, and I take 30% if it's anything other than banded, so that's cool. Right in here, it doesn't look like I'm gonna win because I have 3 Pokemon and he has 4, and he still has a Suicune, and what I can do against his team is the Suicune, but he said he hated Crocune, so I doubt he was running it. So I had a chance right here. Anyway, I swap in P2 because he can wall this thing. He's a physical defensive set, and physical defensive is the way to go. You can wall a lot of things. If you didn't catch it, my Trace copied his adaptability. So all that means is when I set up a conversion for my electric, it'll now be stab adaptability, which is some major power, as I will show you. And he goes for Scald right here, not going for Calm Mind, which I probably would have gone for Calm Mind at this point. He keeps going for Scald really weirdly, and I get off a Discharge, and if he that does major damage with the adaptability, super effective stab. So, man, that's a mouthful. So I just kill it off right here, and that's pretty cool because it's a Porygon 2 killing a Suicune. You don't see that every day. Okay, we're gonna go into our next one. I would have won that battle, I think. I'm pretty sure my Suicune could have set up and swept, so he didn't want to go through that whole process. We're gonna go into the next one. This is my... No, this is a mono-type bug team, so I guess this kinda... I don't know if this really counts. I go into my Doug Trio thinking that he's not gonna do much damage. That does a lot of damage, so I'm like, oh, maybe he's banded. Nope, he's got Aqua Jet, and that just does a lot of damage. Doug Trio is really, really weak. I just go for the high jump kick because I did not think he would predict me to go for it. I get out of my Suicune, and I get to go for the Calm Mind because I'm looking at his team, and there's not much to combat me. I don't have Sleep Talk, I have Ice Beam, so I'm gonna have to play around with this thing a little, see if I can burn some sleep turns, and I get first turn Wake Up and go for the Ice Beam, which is great. And he goes for the Sleep Powder. I don't have Sleep Talk once again, and he's gonna try to kill me off with an Energy Ball, I believe. Yep. And he's gonna nearly succeed, but I'm gonna switch out to my especially defensive Florges and cancel. And he won't be able to do anything, and I'll be able to kill it off with Moonblast since Vivillon has pretty awful defenses. I know this one isn't very viable. It's kind of low ladder. This is like 1430s right now. And he sends out this thing. Here comes my P2. He gets the Swarm instead of the adaptability, which kind of sucks. If he was running Knockoff right there, that would have sucked as well. And he switches out to this thing because this thing has Knockoff. And as you can see, I'm just gonna keep tanking hits even though I don't have my Violite. And that's why I kept this replay, because it's pretty interesting how I can keep doing stuff even without Violite. I get up enough recover so this Beedrill can't kill me. Or the Scyther. I don't know what the Scyther does. I'm presuming it's banded. And he goes for Aqua Jet stupidly right here, so I just get to recover up, and I'm going to predict him to predict me to go for recover and go for Discharge right here. Right here, this thing sets up a Sword Stance. I'm going to recover thinking he's banded. He's not. Yeah, he goes for Aerial Ace. It does nothing. I have no Violite, just saying. And Scyther is not too bad of an attacker. I go for Discharge again. And I figured he might go for Sword Stance here, but I was just going to go for recover anyway. And his +4 Aerial Ace does 48 to a non-Violite Porygon, so that's something to keep in mind. Now the Poison Jab kills me, and it's a Suicune's. Pretty much I just kill everything with Pidgeot because he can't KO me with Poison Jab. And that's it. So we're going to go against Aggron now, and Aggron is really high on the ladder at this point, so I was kind of scared of battling him. And I'm probably 1450s around here, 1470s, and I'm looking at his team, and his team looks really weak to Mega Pidgeot. Other than the Aggron, that's not. Shoutouts to the head smash. He's Mega Aggron, but he's running a really smart set. It's kind of situational, but it's really smart, and I really like it. He has head smash when he isn't Mega, and at this point he does not want to Mega because my Heat Wave will kill him off. So he's just trying to go for the head smash here. He's not going to Mega. I'm going to switch to my Suicune because he can take that. And then we'll switch out predicting the Vaporeon as he goes out to Roserade. I'm just going to U-turn here because I can, and I'll be able to go out to my Dugtrio and trap this Aggron, which means my Mega Pidgeot can do damage. Unfortunately for him, he misses the Dragon Tail, which matters because it would have done like 70 and he could have kept this thing alive. Possibly. He would have to get a wish off to it. Here comes Donphan. I get to go into my Pidgeot as he goes for a knockoff. And I get to go for a Hurricane and I hacks him, which is great. I hacked him twice. And he does not get to get off an Ice Shard, which may or may not matter later. This Salamence looks very scarfed, and he predicts my Florges, but I'm going out to P2. It's a Moxie one, and I get to go for a Discharge because I know he's going to switch. Pretty much at this point, my P2 can clean up game because I can come in on the Vaporeon and steal its water absorb and then switch to an electric type and do super effective damage to it. I can take hits from Hydreigon and Ice Beam it in return, and I can take hits from Salamence and Ice Beam. The only problem I have is this Roserade sludge bombing me and getting the poison off because residual damage will really hurt in the end. So I get to my Dugtrio hoping he'd go for Spikes or Sludge Bomb, but he doesn't, so it means I don't get to kill this thing, and if I got to kill that thing, then my P2 could clean up. So I switch to my Pidgeot there as I predict Giga Drain, but he gets paralyzed. He goes into Vaporeon here. I didn't get the confusion. I'm going to get out of there. I copy his water absorb, so I'm going to see if this plan works even with Roserade in play because I can always Ice Beam the Roserade. I'm going to go for the Discharge right here. And it does some damage to Roserade. He does not get the Paralyze, so I'm not going to go for the Ice Beam. I don't want to get Sludge Bomb. I go into Florges pretty much as a pivot. I need my Dugtrio to come in. So I get the Aromatherapy, and I think, do I switch to Dugtrio right here? Yeah. I risk, no. I thought he might go for a Giga Drain predicting my Dugtrio. He does not. So I'm just going to go to Mega Pidgeot right here, go for the Hurricane, well aware that the Vaporeon's going to switch in. But I'm like, maybe I can play around with Confuse Hacks, and I get the Confusion, which is great for me. And I'm hexing Aggron right here. I'm hoping he hits himself so I can just kill him off, but he doesn't. He gets to go for the Protector here. I'm going to go for the Roost because Protect is obvious, and I'm going to switch out next turn. Oh no, I'm going to go for I was hoping he'd hit himself so bad, but he didn't. And he goes to Salamence, says I'm just going to go for the Hurricane. He gets some life back. I'm just going to switch to my, I think, yeah, P2 still. It's running low on health, and with the spikes up, it's really hard to keep switching in on this thing. I predict the Roserade, go out to my Dugtrio, and finally I can get rid of this Roserade. All I have to do is get up Recover on my P2, and I win. So this is a great game for P2 because it shows him as a win condition other than just a wall taking hits. We got Mienshao right here. I can pretty much clean up. So I'm just going to go for high jump kicks. I miss, unfortunately, but it's not that bad because P2 is still a win condition. He gets up his Moxie boost, but a +1 Iron Tail Scarf is not going to kill me. This gives me an opportunity to recover up. This Hydreigon, I am physically defensive, so I have to fear it a little. The only thing I was fearing is the flinch. He actually goes to the superpower right here, which is great for me. There's no possibility of flinching, and I get to recover up. He shows me Roost, which is common, but I totally forgot about it. So I'm just going to keep recovering up, thinking he's just going to kill himself. I'm going to go for the Discharge right here, because if I get this thing paralyzed, then Vaporeon has to come in at one point. And now I can just Discharge Ice Beam the rest of his team and win. The only problem is he's withering me down with Draco Meteors and stuff, so I gotta go for recovery. Right here, I get to go for the Discharge and do, I think, around 40%. Yeah, I do 46%, which is really good. I don't have the Water Absorb because I stole the Moxie from the Salamence. And that's game because I can Ice Beam the rest of his team. Salamence, if he went for Outrage, would have done around 32. And I just Ice Beam this thing and it's paralyzed. So that was a good game. I've got one more battle. I hope you don't mind. Porygon 2 is really good. Maybe even B+ would be suitable, but for now I'm just going for B rank. This guy, he doesn't know how to play with Suicune. He doesn't really have a switch into Hurricane. He's got a lot of priority that can kill my Pidgeot off eventually. But I'm just going to keep going for Hurricanes as it does massive damage, and I get to kill off the Suicune first right away, which is really good. Because it was a bit of a threat. He sends in his obligatory bats with Acrobats, Tactics, and I do run Ice Beam on my Suicune, so I'm going to predict his Sun Lizard. Right now I'm going to go to Florges. I'm thinking he would predict my my Doug Trio, so I went out to Florges. My Doug Trio is actually Adamant Nature, not Jolly, so I can kill Roserades and other things, but it means it's outsped by Heliolisk and Infernape. I think this is Dodman's team because what is it? The Abomasnow is called Pepper Uranus. So I'm pretty sure that's Dodman. I'm not sure though. He goes for Taunt right here, which forces me to go for an attacking move. I'm going to go for Ice Beam, predicting the Heliolisk. He goes into Pepper Uranus. And this thing becomes a problem because even if my P2 comes in, I can only do so little damage to it. And it could possibly set up Swords Dances and then sweep the rest of my team with a combination of Seed Bomb and Ice Shards. So that was a little scary. He goes out as Sun Lizard, predicting my Ice. I'm going to skip around. He predicts my Doug Trio right there. I have to go out to P2 to wall this thing. I did some damage with Moonblast and as on the switch, so that was good for me. He was predicting me to predict him to go out to Entei. This thing is a problem. I got off the Ice Beam, and I was thinking my Doug Trio could take a knockoff, and then it I could Revenge Kill with Earthquake. That's not the case. I go to Mienshao. I go for the U-turn because it kills both. I have the Suicune right here. I'm going to go for the Ice because Sun Lizard is in the game. I'm going to go out to Florges because he takes special hits. What he did is he went for Thunderbolt, then Volt Switch combo. I have Synthesis, which is great. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to not sack this yet and go out to P2. I copy his pressure, so he has less extreme speeds, and if he went for Sacred Fire, he would have less of those. He would only get to go for 4, which may or may not come to play. He goes into Pepper Uranus, and I only can do 18% to him at a time. I can recover up, though, and keep doing that. I'm scared of him SDing because he can do some damage to me. 22% from an Abomasnow Seed Bomb is not much at all. I keep going for Ice Beam. He knows that. He's going to go out to this thing. I'm scared of a Burn because Burn plus Hail damage can wither me off, but he does 37% with his Sacred Fire, so I can eventually wither him down with pressures and stuff. And I'm just going to go for Recover again. He sends out his obligatory bat, and if I get this thing paralyzed, I pretty much win the game. And I knew he was going for Taunt. And I get the thing paralyzed, which is great. I'm going to go for Ice Beam right now, just in case he might want to go out to Heliolisk. And because I'm a physical wall, and I don't know how he's going to take Thunderbolts. He'd probably take 30% from them. He goes out to this thing. I go out to Suicune because I can, and I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam. There's no reason for me to overpredict or whatever. And I'm going to go for the Ice Beam on this thing, have him kill me off, so I can just bring in my P2 and win. But I can win with my... I could have won with my P2, but I decided to win with my Mienshao because it was a little safer. If he got a crit, Sacred Fire, or if he kept getting burn damage on me, and with this Hail, I didn't want to mess with the Hail plus burn damage. I didn't want to be put in range of Ice Shard because Ice Shard and then me missing High Jump Kick means he wins the game. So that was good game. Please check out the Viability thread. This is going up on the Viability thread. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at DaSpoofy Gaming. And I hope this is proof enough. If not, I guess I have to get some more gameplay. I'm gonna get some more gameplay with Heracross. Hopefully, so you see that it's not completely dead to Heracross. Alright, thanks guys, and I'll see you all later.